We don't have to have a near-death experience or be told that we're terminally ill in order to truly allow the reality of our deaths to completely transform us. I want to talk about how do you live a life beyond your wildest dreams. And one of the techniques that I teach is very common in Buddhism and Hinduism, which is to actually contemplate the moment of your own death and how inevitable that is. And the reason that's powerful is that we tend to forget about it. Like, we tend to become lost in the day-to-day and our drama and not really consider the fact that we are inevitably going to die and this life is extremely temporary. And when we do this, it has a very clarifying power. And you see it all the time. You see when people have a near-death experience, or if somebody has been given a terminal, they've been told that they're terminally ill, everything changes. In that moment, everything changes. They don't engage in the drama of life anymore. Often people have a profound settledness and a love that just kind of radiates through them because they realize that that's all that matters in life. And when we have the courage to regularly contemplate our death through various meditation techniques and kind of keep it in the forefront of our minds, we can live that way. We don't have to have a near-death experience or be told that we're terminally ill in order to truly allow the reality of our deaths to completely transform us. First, everything is energy and vibration. And we see this in science, in physics, that the majority of what we are is just space between energetic molecules. And everything has a certain resonant frequency or a vibration. We do, the places we go, every living object, even non-living objects, everything has a subtle vibrational frequency. And this is important to understand because it's how we can learn to clear the vibrational frequencies in our field that we're experiencing day to day. And so the first thing to do in living the life beyond your wildest dreams is to clear out everything that's a low vibration. It's like an energetic purge. And this can be people, like any toxic people. This can be jobs. This can be communities. This can be, even things as simple as a messy closet that we're always meaning to clean up. Even that can bring our vibration down because it exposes us to negative self-talk. So if there's anything we're avoiding or fearing or anything like that, it's suppressing our energetic fields. So it's so important to actively and regularly clear all these things out of our energetic systems really every single day. Because when we do that, what automatically happens is that the vibrational level goes up, it increases. And we can be very intentional. We can select, who our friends are, what communities we're a part of, and who we follow on social media to actually raise our energetic vibrational consciousness. And that's very, very important because that's what allows for us to have the power and the freedom to create a life beyond our dreams. Now, then once we've purged, the next thing is to imagine, close your eyes and imagine the most ideal life you could possibly imagine. A powerful question is, if I had unlimited time, unlimited money, unlimited resources, what would I do with my life? And that helps to remove all the sort of constraints that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, again, to give us clarity and actually imagine yourself, what does it look like to live your very best life? If your soul was completely free to be wildly self-expressed, what does that look like? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? Who are you around? And allow yourself to get the picture and write it down. And then we have to confront what often gets in the way. Why is it so difficult for us to live that life beyond our dreams? It's a lifetime's worth of beliefs that we have adopted in terms of what's possible or what's not possible. And it's often subconscious. Like, we don't realize we inherit all these beliefs from teachers, from parents, from communities, like, oh, you can't do that, or I'm not that way, or I'm not smart, or I can't, I'm bad with money, or all these kinds of things that we adopt are made up. In fact, our entire self-concept, every single thing that you have ever thought about yourself, is made up. It doesn't even exist beyond some neural pathway in your brain. And you must begin to distinguish. There's a powerful practice in the Yoga Sutras to distinguish objects from the name. So you think of your name, my name is John, and then how it looks. We tend to identify with our bodies and how they look a lot, often to our detriment. And then there's all the ideas we have about something. And we have all these ideas that we've adopted about ourselves, and ideas that we've adopted about what's possible or not. And as soon as we try to rise into living our life, guess what shows up? All these beliefs, all these self-concepts, all these things to suppress us, because the shadow part of ourselves is afraid to lose control. So if we're not diligent, we spend our entire lives being governed purely by fear. And we lie about it and we pretend that we're not. But the reality is, if we have the courage to really look, what's driving our day-to-day actions, what's driving our decisions, it's fear. It's fear. And that's the part of our brain that wants to remain in control. So if we do something risky, like say, I'm going to live my best life and I don't care what anyone thinks, and I'm going to just go for it, I'm going to take huge risks, and I'm going to start a business in my dreams, all that fear is going to pop right up and try to suppress it. And it's going to sound like, oh, it's all those beliefs and all those self-concepts that we've accumulated. But again, they're all made up. When you truly understand that, like everything you've ever thought about yourself is made up, then you start to think, well, if that's the case, why don't I just make up better things? Why don't I just make up new beliefs? And a lot of these we're born into. Like, as humans, we're born into a belief of scarcity. Resources are scarce, money is scarce, love is scarce. And we have to actively release that belief and create a new belief. Like what if everything is in abundance? Like, what if I can receive everything I need? What if God or the universe or people can take care of me and contribute to me and allow me to experience their love? So all of these beliefs have got to go. That's very important. So I'll share with you about mine. So when I was in Madagascar, I got to spend about 3 months just kind of meditating and healing and looking for myself. And I thought, you know what? If I waved my magic wand, I want my life to look like spending tons of time with my children, spending tons of time in nature, spending tons of time with God. I don't want to work that much. Like, I want to work from home, but I only want to work about 20 hours a week. And I want to make tons of money doing it. And I want to have people around me to do everything I don't like doing, so that I can only focus on what I love doing. And how amazing would that be if I could live that kind of life? And the thing that was right there for me was the fear of what people would think about that. I was so afraid people would think like, oh my God, who is this arrogant, entitled, privileged guy? And, he doesn't know anything. You have to work hard in life, and that's ridiculous. And, I can't stand him. And like, I was really afraid. I was like, I was afraid people would hate me and abandon me because I said this stuff. But I saw the fear and I just did it anyway. And guess what? I literally live that life. I literally spend tons of time with my children every day. I spend tons of time in nature every day, like I am right now. I work 20 hours a week and I make tons of money. And I get to do what I love. Like, I'm literally just being myself for a living, because I gave my soul permission to actually come out and be fully self-expressed. Like, I healed enough to allow all those fears to disappear, and I did everything that I'm sharing now, and I get to live that life. And that's how I know it's possible for anyone, because there's nothing special about me. If I can do this, anyone can do it. And that's why I'm sharing this publicly, live, so that you can do it too. So how do you do it? you do what I mentioned, where you write your most ideal life ever, and then as soon as fears arrive, you just notice, like, oh, there's another fear. Oh, there's another limiting belief. All the stuff that comes up is coming up so that it can be healed and released. And if we're dealing with each of our beliefs and thoughts and fears as they arise, and we can see that that's why they're arising, so that we can question them and decide, do I want to hold on to this belief? Is this serving me, or am I ready to let it go, and letting it go and creating new beliefs, because they're all made up. Again, that's the key. Everything's made up. We just don't often look hard enough to really realize that. So that's it for today. This is a little sample of the Freedom and Bliss course. This is module 3, and I wanted to give people an experience of it because there's another Freedom and Bliss coaching program that is launching 1 week from yesterday, June 29th. So send me a message if you're interested. You can just book time on my calendar on my website, or shoot a comment or whatever. I would love to have you. I'm not kidding when I say this is powerful, life-changing stuff, because I'm running the group now and people's lives are changing. So if there's something in you that resonated and it was like, wow, this was pretty radical, I'm into it, seriously, just message me. Live your best life. Don't let your fears stop you. Just reach out. All right, I love you.